And taking stock of oil prices now, the oil prices fell by around $3 to a barrel in early Asian trade today as investors cashed in on a recent rally with a key producer meeting later in the day set to pave the way for expected output increases. We're talking about OPEC meeting. The Brent crude was down $2.76 or 2.4% at $113 a barrel. It has risen 0.6% yesterday. US WTI crude dropped 2.89% or 2.9% to settle at $112 to a barrel. The benchmarks have marched higher for several weeks as Russian exports are being squeezed by EU and US sanctions against Moscow over its invasion of Ukraine, actions that Russia calls special operations so far. So while China's gradual emergence from strict COVID-19 lockdowns has added to price support, a stronger US dollar also dented oil prices today as it makes crude more expensive for those holding other currencies. OPEC Plus is set to stick to its monthly modest oil output increases despite seeing tighter global markets. The Wall Street Journal reported yesterday that some OPEC members were considering the idea of suspending Russia from deal to allow other producers to pump significantly more crude as sought by US and European nations. And we earlier spoke to our correspondent Rosie Burchard to know the on-ground situation in Europe as far as gas prices are concerned.
In the summer months will buy European countries some time before the heating season begins in the autumn here in Europe. But so far, there has been no havoc wrought in so far as the countries which have been fully cut off, so that's Bulgaria, Poland and Finland, have been able to quite easily replace supplies via sharing mechanisms with neighbouring countries, and Finland, which was fully cut off after it applied for membership of NATO, was able to also quite easily replace those Russian gas supplies simply because it was only ever a very small part of the nation's energy mix. The European Commission, headquartered in the building behind me, is going out into the world to try and find replacement sources. They've been in talks with countries including Norway, Qatar, Algeria to try and replace those supplies which come from Russia and reduce that overall dependence. But it's no mean feat. It's something which cannot happen overnight, and particularly when it comes to sourcing different types of gas. So, for example, liquefied natural gas from the United States. That also involves radically changing the infrastructure which is here in Europe. That's why the EU is also trying to ramp up investment in renewables to try and replace overall the supplies which come from Russia and reduce that dependence as Russia's attacks on Ukraine continue.
WION now available in your country. Download the app and get all the news on the move.